Hey guys, hi, welcome back. So in the previous video, we have discussed about the alpha decay and the beta decay. We have seen that when a helium is emitted, right, then that particular decay process is the alpha decay. And when an electron or positron is emitted, then that is a beta decay. So now we will discuss what is a gamma decay. So what we see when alpha decay and beta decay occurs, the daughter nuclei, it is in what? It is in the excited state initially, right? After the alpha and beta decay. So when it is in the excited state, it will do what? It will radiate out energy, all right? From the excited state, it will radiate energy in the form of gamma rays and it will come back to the ground state. And this process in which a daughter nuclei, which is initially in the excited state, radiates energy and it comes back to the ground state, it is said to be gamma decay. So what we will write here is that after alpha and beta decay, all right, the daughter nuclei is initially in the excited state, right? From the excited state, it radiates out energy in the form of gamma rays, all right? And this process is called the gamma decay. Clear? This process is said to be the gamma decay, the transition from the excited state to the ground state. All right. Suppose this is a parent nucleus, right? So initially it is in this state is suppose excited state. All right. Then what will happen? It will come to its what? It will come to the ground state, right? It will come to the ground state Y. All right. And what will happen? When it will come back to the ground state, or you can say the stable state, then it will radiate what? It will radiate energy. It radiates energy in the form of what? Radiates energy in the form of packets. All right. In the form of packets, or you can say packets of what? Energy. All right. And these energy packets, if you say, in case of rays, if you say, then they are said to be gamma rays. In terms of photons, if you say, then you can say these are the gamma photons. All right. So after the alpha and beta decay, the transition of the daughter nuclei from the initial state, that is the excited state, to the ground state, radiating energy in the form of what? Packets, which are said to be gamma rays or gamma photons. This entire process is said to be the gamma decay. All right. So this is all about the gamma decay. It is clear? So this is what actually happens in case of gamma decay. And we have to remember that there are few things, or you can say few points, which make some difference between the gamma decay and the alpha beta decay. Why? You see how it is separated from the alpha and beta decay. If you see the alpha and beta decay, there are some particles are emitted, right? But in case of what? In case of gamma decay, it does not eject any particles. No particles are ejected from the nucleus when it is undergoing gamma decay. Instead, what we get a high energy form of electromagnetic radiation, which is the gamma ray photon. Clear? And you will remember that these gamma rays, they are simply photons which are having what? Extremely high energies. All right. and they are highly ionizing also. And in case of gamma decay, if you see, it is not changing the structure and the composition of the atom. All right, it is just having a change in the energy of the atom. Since gamma ray is not carrying any charge, or nor it is having what, any mass associated with it, this is the reason that it is not creating any change in the charge and the structure. All right, or the composition, you will say. It is having only the change in the energy. Clear? So I have said all about the gamma decay. Now we will see some features of gamma decay. All right, we will see the features of gamma decay. So the first feature of gamma decay is that in gamma decay, the atomic number Z and the mass number remains unchanged. All right, this is the first property, or you can say the feature, remains unchanged. Clear? The second thing is what, in case of gamma decay, it has what, the spectra is what, line spectra. It has line spectra, right? That means energy levels are what, discrete. So I will write here discrete energy levels. All right, the third thing is what, it is providing us the information about the initial and final spin parity. It provides the information of the initial and final state. Clear? That is final state parity. All right, that is JP. The fourth is that we can predict what, the type of multipole radiation. All right, so you hear what we will write. We can predict the type of multipole radiation. All right, that is whether it is what, whether it is a electric multipole, or the second one is what, the second one is magnetic multipole. Clear? So these are the features of gamma decay. The first one was what, the first one was that in gamma decay the atomic number and the mass number is not changed. The energy levels are what, discrete. That means it has line spectra. The fourth is that it is providing us the information of the initial as well as the final state of spin parity, right? The fourth is what, we can predict the type of multipole radiation. That is either it's a electric multipole or it's a magnetic multipole. So these are the features of gamma decay. Now next what we will see, that there are two types of multipole radiation. All right, so here what we will write, there are two types of multipole radiation. As I have already seen in the features also, the first one is what, the first one is electric multipole. All right, the second is magnetic multipole. Clear? So this is written as EL and this is written as ML. All right, and here this L is what, L is the multipolarity. L is the multipolarity. Now we will see the multipolarity of radiation. How we write the multipolarity of radiation? We will see multipolarity of radiation. Clear? So Multipolarity of radiation is given by how? It is denoted as Ji minus Jf to Ji plus Jf. Alright, this is the orbital angular momentum which we have done already. Okay, so here if you see, this is the initial state. This is what? This is the excited state. So in gamma decay, excited state is the initial state. So this is the Ji, and the ground state is the final state, right? This is the ground state. So this will be Jf, and in this case, a photon is emitted. All right. Now let's discuss the order of pole. All right. So the order of pole, it is given by what? It is given by 2 to the power L. Now if you have L is equals to 1, here I am writing the order of pole, and this side I am writing the components. This will represent the components of what? Electric and magnetic multipole. So if L is equals to 1, then order will be what? 2 to the power 1. That is what? 2. That means this is a dipole, right? So here the components will be what? E1, M1. Here E1 it is the electric dipole, M1 it is what? It is the magnetic dipole. Similarly, if you write here L is equals to 2. For L equals to 2, the order will be what? 2 to the power 2, 4. So this is a quadrupole, right? So the components will be what? It will be E2 and M2. So this is what? Electric quadrupole. This is the magnetic quadrupole. Similarly, if L is equals to 3, then you will have here what? 8. Order is 8. That means it is a octapole. All right. So this is E3 and M3. So this is the electric octapole. This is a magnetic octapole. And this is how you can calculate the higher order poles. Clear? Now you see, I have not written for L is equals to 0. Why? Because this is a point which you need to note, is that for L is equals to 0, all right, when L is equals to 0, there will be what? No radiation. Why there will be no radiation? Because if you have L is equals to 0, in that case, order will be what? Order will be 1. If order is 1, that means what? It is a monopole, right? And you know what? Magnetic monopole, it doesn't exist. We know that magnetic monopole does not exist, right? And for electromagnetic radiation, you will need both the electric and magnetic field. Did you get it? Since magnetic monopole does not exist, and for radiation, we need both the electric and magnetic field. This is the reason that for L equals to 0, there is no radiation. All right. Now let's discuss about the selection rules. We will see about the selection rules. So the first rule we will be looking for is the parity. All right. Let's see for the parity. So here if you see, the parity must be conserved. The first rule is what? The parity must be conserved. All right. That means what? Pi I, it is equals to what? Pi gamma, pi f. Here pi I, it is the parity of what? It is the parity of the initial state, right? So I will write down here the parity of initial state. All right. Pi gamma, it is the parity of photon, or you can say the multipole transition. I will write the parity of photon or multipole transition. All right. The last is what? Pi f. So this is the parity of the final state. This is the parity of final state. All right. The parity must be conserved. That means pi I, initial state parity must be equals to what? The product of the parity of the photon and the final state. Now if you see for what? For electric multipole. All right. For electric multipole, if you see, the parity pi, it must be equals to what? This is pi e. Alright, for electric, the parity must be what? It must be minus 1 to the power L. And for magnetic multipole, for magnetic multipole, that is what? Pi m. The parity must be what? Minus 1 to the power L plus 1. You have to remember this. Okay, this is for electric and this is for magnetic. Clear? So we have seen what is the gamma ray, the features of gamma ray we have seen. We have discussed about the electric and the magnetic multipole. We have seen the multipolarity, we have seen the order of pole, we have discussed about the parity, and the last thing that we have to see here is that the angular momentum must be conserved. This is also important. All right, the angular momentum must be conserved. Clear? Now we will solve one or two sums so that this electric multipoles parity and this magnetic multipoles parity, how we can use in problems, that you will have an idea. Clear? So now let's see the problems. So the first example is what? We have to find the allowed multipoles. All right, we have to find the allowed multipoles in the transform Ji equals to 1 positive equals to Jf equals to what? 2 negative. That means the initial is the excited state, right? For this, the spin parity is 1 plus. For the ground state, it is what? 2 negative, because in case of gamma decay, what happens? The initial is the what? Excited state, and the final is what? It's the ground state. So first of all, what we will see here, we will check. In this case, we will check what? Multipolarity we can check, right? So delta J, it is equals to what? Ji minus Jf modulus to Ji plus Jf, right? So from here what you will get, in this case, you will have what? You will have, this is 1, right? So you will have 1 minus 2 to 1 plus 2. So here you will have what? 1, 2, 3. So you will have 1, 2 and 3. All right, so these are the value of L here. Now if you see, so what are the possibilities? For L is equals to 1, you can have what? E1, M1. For L equals to 2, the possibility is what? E2 and M2. Similarly for what? L equals to 3, the possibilities are what? E3 and M3. Clear? Now we will see the parity conservation, right? So the parity conservation, you can denote it by Pi or Pi I. It is same. So Pi is equals to what? Pi gamma Pf. So for the initial, you can see the parity is what? Plus 1, right? Gamma we are leaving. For Pf, it is what? Minus 1. So since this is plus, this side it is minus. So for the conservation of parity, P gamma parity must be how much? The parity of the gamma photon should be how much? It must be minus 1, right? Now we will see which are the transitions in which we can get minus 1. So if you see here, for electric, okay, for electric multipole, what we are having, the parity is minus 1 to the power L, and for magnetic it is what? Minus 1 to the power L plus 1. All right, so if L is equals to 1, so E1 will be what? E1 will be minus 1. This will be what? Plus 1. E2 for L is equals to 2. It will be what? Plus 1. So this will be obviously minus 1. E3 is again minus 1. So this will be what? Plus 1. Right. So you need the parity to be what? Minus 1. So what are the allowed transitions? Allowed multiples. Sorry. This is E1 is allowed. E3 is allowed. And M2 is allowed. Right. So the allowed transitions are what? In this case, the allowed transitions are E1, M2 and E3. So these are allowed. Clear? So this is how you can find the allowed multipoles. Clear? Next we will see the ground state of this nucleus. It is having parity how much? 1/2 negative. And the first excited state has parity, 5/2 negative. So the electromagnetic radiation emitted when the nucleus makes a transition from the first excited state to the ground state is. So here also you will see the electromagnetic radiations emitted. So here it is said for the ground state. All right, for the ground state, the parity is what? The parity is 1/2 negative. All right, spin is 1/2, parity is negative. And for the excited state, for the first excited state, it is how much? It is 5/2 negative. Now, if you see here, parity is what? Parity is unchanged, right? Parity is unchanged. We know parity is what? Pi equals to P gamma Pf. So here also you are having -1. Here also you are having -1. So for this, it should be obviously +1, right? Next, we will see the value of what? L multipolarity we will check. So we will write here multipolarity. So multipolarity is what? 5/2 minus 1/2 to 5/2 plus 1/2. So if you see here, this is what? 5 minus 1 is 4, right? 4/2 is 2. So this is 2 2. 5 plus 1 is 6 by 2. So it will be what? 3. So it is 2 and 3. This is the value of L. So the possible multipoles will be what? We will see for L equals to 2, the possibility is what? Either E2 we can have or M2. For L is equals to 3, you can have either E3 or you can have M3. Already we have seen for the electric multipole, the parity is what? -1 to the power L. And for the magnetic, it is what? For magnetic, it is -1 to the power L plus 1. So here in this case, you are having what? L is equals to 2 and L is equals to 3. You need the parity to be what? +1. So if you see, this will give you what? +1. This will give you -1. This is what? -1 to the power 2 plus 1. So it is 3. So it will become -1. Again, if you see in this case, it will give you what? -1, right? And this will give you what? +1. So what are the possibilities? Means what type of radiations will be emitted? E2, and the other one is what? M3. So therefore the answer is what? E2 and M3. All right. So now let's check the option. Option C is the correct option here. So this is how you can see the radiation emitted, or sometimes you might be given the allowed multipoles. You have to just check the multipolarity and parity, and this is how you can find. So that's all in this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day.